Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today because we have some very exciting General Hospital news to talk about, and it's definitely worth the wait. You know, I've been hooked on General Hospital for more years than I care to count, and let me tell you, these latest twists with Ethan Lovett have got my head spinning in the best way possible. I was sitting there with my coffee the other morning, watching the show, and I just had to shake my head and smile. Those clever writers are playing with us again, and I love every minute of it. What really got me was the news leaking out about Ethan and this woman, Delilah Wilson. Turns out they've confirmed there's a real connection between them, but they're still holding back the full story, like they're saving the best part for later. From what I see, Ethan and Delilah were partners in some kind of project together, and from that photo he burned, it sure looked like they were more than just friends. She even blew him a kiss. My goodness, that little moment gave me chills. I thought to myself, well, here we go, folks. This boy's got some real history. A lot of fans are convinced Ethan must be the daddy of that baby, and I can see why they'd think that. The show has been dropping hints left and right, making it feel like it's heading straight that way. But here's the thing that tickles me. They could have wrapped it up nice and clean in that May 6th episode. When Ethan was talking to Delilah's picture, he mentioned meeting the baby, little Phoebe. It would have been the perfect dramatic moment for him to say she was their child. But no, they left it hanging. I sat there thinking, come on now, don't tease us like that. It makes me wonder if the writers are just using Ethan to throw us off the real trail. Between you and me, I have a feeling Ethan knows way more than he's letting on. He's probably Delilah's lover, sure, but I reckon he knows exactly who the real father is and he's scared to spill it. Maybe he's worried about the trouble it could cause for Chase and Brooklyn if the truth comes out about that adopted little girl. That's the kind of tangled mess that keeps me coming back to General Hospital every day. Life's full of secrets just like that, isn't it? One wrong word and everything comes crashing down. I tell you what, it warms my heart and gets my blood pumping watching how they build these stories. Makes me think about all the hidden truths we carry around in our own lives. Can't wait to see where they take it next. I'm right here cheering them on. You know, the more I sit here thinking about all this General Hospital business with Ethan Lovett, the more I'm convinced in my bones that he isn't little Phoebe's real daddy at all. I mean, just stop and listen to the way he talked about that baby girl. He kept calling her the baby, plain and simple, like she was some neighbor kid he happened to run into at the store, not his own flesh and blood. If that sweet child was really his daughter, don't you think his voice would have softened up? Wouldn't he have said something warmer, something that showed a father's pride, like my little girl or our baby girl? Nah, it didn't come out that way at all. It hit me right in the gut when I watched it. I was sitting in my recliner with my coffee getting cold, and I thought to myself, hold on now, something's not adding up here. That kind of distant way of speaking just doesn't feel like a man talking about his own child. I reckon Delilah Wilson got pregnant by somebody else long before she ever crossed paths with Ethan. Maybe she was already carrying that baby when life threw them together on that project they were working on. Then, somewhere down the line, Ethan started catching real feelings for her. You know how it goes with good-hearted fellas. He saw she was in trouble and he stepped right up, ready to shield her from whatever storm was coming her way. Could be he was even protecting her from the actual father himself, especially if that man turned out to be bad news. Lord knows we've all seen folks do that in real life. A decent man falls for a woman who's scared and alone, and suddenly he's willing to carry her burdens, even if they're not his to begin with. That's the kind of quiet heroism that tugs at my heartstrings every time. And let me tell you what really sealed it for me. I went back and listened to those old voicemail messages Ethan left for Delilah before he even knew she had passed. There wasn't a lick of special tenderness in his voice when he mentioned her child. Not one bit. He sounded more frustrated than anything, just laying it out straight. He couldn't keep helping her if she didn't show up like they'd agreed. No worried questions about how the baby was doing. No soft words asking if the little one was okay. Nothing that a real daddy would say. It was all business mixed with genuine care for Delilah herself. To me, that tells the whole story right there. Their connection wasn't built around some secret family they shared. It was mostly about him helping her escape whatever danger was chasing her down. He became her safe place, her partner in dodging trouble. And yeah, maybe her lover too, but not the father of that child. Bless their hearts, it all makes the relationship between Ethan and Delilah feel even more mysterious now. We still don't have the full picture, do we? One minute it looks like they're thick as thieves with that blown kiss in the burn photo, and the next it's clear he's holding back big secrets. Maybe he knows exactly who the real daddy is, and he's scared to let it slip because it could bring a world of hurt down on Chase and Brooklyn with that adoption. Whatever the truth turns out to be, I'm glued to the screen every single day. These writers have a way of weaving these tangled webs that feel just like real life, full of hidden truths, second chances, and people doing the best they can, even when it's messy and complicated. It warms my old heart and keeps me smiling, wondering what's coming next. I tell you what, that's why I've loved this show for so many years. It reminds me that no matter how old you get, there's always another chapter waiting to unfold. You know, what really got me scratching my head even more were those scenes with Brooklyn Quartermain and Harrison Chase. Ethan kept asking questions, real curious, like wanting to know if any family member had shown up to claim little Phoebe yet. The way he asked it didn't sound like idle chatter. To me, it felt like he was worried sick that the real father might pop up out of nowhere and turn everything upside down. I was watching and thinking, boy, you're carrying a heavy load, aren't you? It's like he's walking on eggshells, afraid the truth could come crashing down on Chase and Brooklyn and mess up that sweet adoption they've got going. And let me tell you, when I saw Ethan burning that photo of Delilah and trying so hard to bury the whole thing, it hit me that something truly serious must be hiding in the shadows. You don't go to that much trouble unless there's some real danger or a dark secret that could hurt a lot of folks. Fans like me are still piecing it together, but I have a strong feeling we haven't seen the worst of it yet. That kind of quiet desperation makes the story feel so real, just like life when you're trying to protect people you care about from old ghosts. Then there's that strange tattoo on Delilah's wrist that the show still hasn't explained. It sure doesn't seem connected to Ethan at all. The more I think about it, the more I believe it might tie back to the real father of that baby. Maybe it's some kind of mark from her past, a warning sign, or something that links her to the man who got her pregnant. There are still so many mysteries waiting to be solved, and that's what keeps this old heart beating faster every afternoon when the show comes on. From what I hear, Ethan plans to keep quiet about his real connection to Delilah for now. He's not spilling the beans anytime soon, and I respect that kind of carefulness. It builds the suspense just right. I reckon the writers are saving the big revelations for the perfect moment, and when they drop them, it's going to be something else. All in all, these tangled stories are exactly why I've stuck with General Hospital through thick and thin. They remind me that life is full of secrets, second chances, and people doing their best to protect the ones they love, even when it's messy and scary. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds in the coming weeks. Whether Ethan stays in the shadows or the truth finally comes roaring out, I'll be right here in my favorite chair, cheering them on and smiling like an old fool. These characters feel like family after all these years, and watching their journeys just warms my soul.